I'm Alfred Russell Rosos. A lot of people call me Russ for short.
I'm Anna Patricia Leaño. Some people call me Anna, but majority of people call me Tricia.
We actually met in high school, right? And we didn't even talk much, but I'm pretty sure she thought I was cute.
Not even. The first time I saw him, I was walking with my friend at school, and she actually thought he was hot. And she was like, just yell out his name. Okay, which I did. I was like, Russell!
So here I am looking around, not even knowing who's calling my name, but then I see this gorgeous girl, Tricia, that I later find out is actually my classmate Arnold's younger sister.
After that time, I never really knew Russell. I remembered him as being this cocky, egotistical person who was in the national improv team and the student council, which probably led to his big ego.
Back in high school, I have to agree that I was definitely very obnoxious and immature, and if I did meet the 1995 me, I definitely kicked my ass, guaranteed.
That definitely was not attractive. Not at all.
I was, however, 100% attracted to Tricia from the first time I met her. Even girls I was dating in high school, I even made that huge mistake by telling them that if it wasn't them, it'd be Tricia in my first spot. It's so weird. So I was even banned from talking to her, and she just became really a girl of my dreams and one that I can only dream of being with, right?
I'm actually glad that we didn't date back in high school, because if we did, then we wouldn't last at all.
I clearly remember when we reunited once again, Tricia and I. It was at this gym, and I remember jogging around the track, and all of a sudden, my best man Darren starts running after me, and I can hear him just pacing. And then he says, Russ, you gotta come check out the studio, man. You gotta see these two hot hula girls doing some dancing.
So there I was, practicing this hula routine with my maid of honor, Melanie, and all of a sudden, I see these two creepy guys peeping in the studio. And all of a sudden, I hear...
So there's Darren and I just really loud in the studio, throwing kicks and punches at this punching bag in that same room. And he's calling these fake calls like, do sonic boom now, Hadouken, right, lightning thunder punch.
And of course, you know, like me and Mel couldn't help but look at it because it was so annoying.
So then I was like, you're Anna, right? From Francis Lieberman High School? And my heart was pounding, my palms were sweaty.
And of course, I didn't want to be mean. So I said, yeah, that's me. But all I can remember is him being such a cocky and egotistical guy. So you know what? I had to cut the conversation short. So I told him, hey, me and Mel are going to the pool, so see ya.
Then I said, wow, that's crazy, because the thing is, Darren and I are going to the pool too.
I was thinking, are you serious? Such a creepy thing to do. And what a liar. They just walked in 5 minutes ago doing their Street Fighter kicks and punches. And it was clearly obvious that Darren and Russ were following me and Mel. But you know what? These guys...
Yep, we wore the same dirty, sweaty gym workout clothes into that clean pool.
Ew, sick!
And from there, we exchanged contacts, information, and we started texting. Oh, I got her MSN Messenger, so we were doing those emoticons back in the day. Got some smiley faces, sometimes kissy faces.
He was very aggressive. He always wanted to go out, he always wanted to talk. It was so annoying too.
And then after a few months from there, whew, I got her on the first date to CN Tower.
Speaking of CN Tower, that is the one thing I will never forget.
Oh boy, my proposal, July 14, 2011. That was definitely years in the making. And it probably took about a whole year just to solidify that plan when I had it.
Russ was so sneaky. One Sunday, I went to my hula practice. He calls me and says, hey, by the way, I need to go see your parents about their RSPs. Because of course, he was their financial broker.
It's true. I did tell Tricia that I had to see her parents due to economic downfalls and struggles in the industry. So I had to go see them. And yeah, I had to talk about the retirement fund, so it was definitely urgent.
Russ would never lie to me. Of course, he had to talk about RSPs.
To release a relative for spousal purposes.
Of course, my parents were very supportive of the idea. My parents loved Russell.
So the next step was to get permission from CN Towers management to propose to Tricia at their 360 restaurant at the top of the world. And once I did get the okay from them,
he got one of my best friends, Yahida, and her husband, Matt, in this whole entire scheme.
Oh yeah, Yahida and Matt. Yeah, they played a huge role in this entire scheme, and I definitely have to give a shout out to the both of them for sure. And as for CN Tower management and their staff, wow, they really prepared everything quite nicely. They got this customized invitation card that's like congratulations and so forth, and they even gave a complimentary dinner all embedded into it.
Wow, there were a lot of details in the card. So the card said, you've won a free dinner for two to the CN Tower, and in order to claim the prize, you had to be there on this date, this time, and of course it even went down to you had to wear semi-formal attire.
So when I got that invitation, I remember giving it to Yahida and Matt and said, you know what, if you see Tricia come by anytime, just hand it over to her and just donate it in a sense and tell her that you guys can't go, right?
Russ's plan worked out perfectly. I went to Yahida's house one random day and she actually donated this free dinner for two to me and Russell because she couldn't go. So I called up Russell and said, hey, what are you doing on July 14th? I have a surprise for you.
Of course, I was like, ooh, amazing, I can't believe it, surprise. And yeah, I had to play the part too. And after that, I remember calling my groomsman, Steve Headley, and he is a Jedi of graphic designing. And I had him create this awesome 360 entertainment quiz that gets handed to us at the end of the dinner.
And to top it off, he even got the waiter to play the part and give this fake quiz to me.
No. I think what really topped it off was I had this paparazzi duo taking care of a lot of things for me.
Oh yeah. He even got his friend Brendan and his wife Anna to secretly videotape and take pictures of the entire event, like private investigators.
Well, I remember that day being such a rush, and my paparazzi duo was running late, so I even had to stall time.
Yeah, I was so pissed. He was 30 minutes late. And I was like, what a jerk. I'm the one who's taking him out and he's running late.
Oh yeah, one of the craziest things that happened that day is I remember stopping at a red light and I looked in my rear view mirror, and when I looked behind me, I see this car approaching so fast. All of a sudden, this other car from my blind spot shields me from getting rear-ended. It was nuts. So I look up in the rear view and all I see is smoke and all this commotion. Man, if that actually hit me, that would have ruined my entire day and my plans, for sure.
God works in mysterious ways. I'm so glad that Russell made it safe and sound. And of course, as we got to our seats, I couldn't be mad at Russ anymore. You know, we're here having dinner at the top of our city. And of course, he was such a great actor too, pretending that he was surprised.
Tricia was definitely having so much fun. It's almost like she was getting oblivious to the whole situation now. Brendan was here taking all these pictures. Anna was there videotaping her every move. It was quite a spectacular moment.
No. Seriously, I really did feel like I was being watched by Anna and Brendan. But of course, I didn't want to tell Russ because he's going to say something and just ruin the night. So, of course, I just kept my mouth shut and just continued having fun and taking pictures.
Oh, our waiter, Paul. He deserves an Oscar. He was acting the part too the whole night, making it seem like it's just a regular day for him. And he was there just taking pictures of us too.
I never even met Brandon or his wife Anna before, so it definitely did work. And you know what? I didn't even notice that Anna was using Russ's camera.
Oh, at the end of the meal, I was just steps away from closing the deal.
So the waiter Paul comes to our table, he hands us the bill and the CN Tower entertainment quiz. And he goes through the details with us and he just says, whoever has the best penmanship has to do the quiz.
that automatically meant that it wasn't going to be me. If you see my writing, it looks like chicken scratches, doctor writing, alien graphics, and caveman drawings, really. So it was Tricia that had to do it.
And then he tells me that if we get all the answers correctly, then we can win a bunch of prizes. And what got me was that if we got it all right, then I had a chance to win 2 tickets to the CN Tower's Edge Walk, where you can walk around the edge of the CN Tower.
And I knew Tricia really wanted to do that.
So this quiz had 5 multiple choice questions that had an entertainment theme.
So the first question was, the annual Super Bowl for the World Wrestling Entertainment is known as blank mania.
Wrestle for WrestleMania.
The second question was, to be or not to be is known from the play created by blank Shakespeare.
William for William Shakespeare.
Question number 3 was, Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan starred in a romantic comedy movie in 1989 that was called When Blank Met Sally.
Harry for When Harry Met Sally.
Question number 4 was the expression blank the force be with you is in every Star Wars movie.
May for May the Force be with you.
Finally, the last question was, 2 of the most popular TV teen series of the 90s were Beverly Hills 90210 and Melrose Blank.
Park. Just kidding. Place for Melrose Place.
So get this. Tricia and I always had this inside joke throughout all these years dating, and it's 10 years, June 29, 2013, if you can believe that, babe. Wow. But we always had this thing where one of us would have to pop the question in order to make our relationship take that next step towards marriage, and I thought it would be super cool if you were the one to ask me to marry you.
And I always said there's no way on earth I would ask you to marry me.
True.
I was brought up traditional, and of course the guys have to ask the girls first.
But I always knew that you were gonna ask me first.
And I said, don't hold your breath.
And you always say I have bad breath.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, so there we were checking out this quiz at the 360 restaurant.
Here, read me all your answers, what you wrote in white.
The annual Super Bowl.
No, just read me the answers, just what you wrote in white.
Why?
Because.
It won't make sense.
But I want to hear you say it. Just say it.
Russell,
Yeah?
William, Harry, May Place.
Yes, I would love to, Tricia.
What?
Read it again, like it's one line. Say it twice.
Russell, William, Harry, May Place.
And I said, yes, I would love to. And I knew you were going to ask me first.
What?
I knew you were going to ask me first, Tricia, but I was going to ask you the same thing sometime soon. Do you get it?
No.
Read it again.
Russell, William, Harry, May Place.
I thought you would have gotten it when I said I knew you were gonna ask me first. But the really cool thing is that I got her to say it so many times.
But really, I didn't get it right away.
And I said, yes, I would love to, Tricia. Say it again, 3 times.
Russell, William, Harry, May Place.
Say it again.
Russell, William, Harry, May Place.
And I said, yes. And I told you I was going to ask you very soon, Tricia. Read it.
Oh,
Say it again.
wait, my BBM.
Tricia. Tricia.
Oh, it's so loud.
Read it again, Tricia. Do you get what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, read it.
Russell,
Yes.
William,
Yes.
Harry,
Yeah.
May.
Yeah. And say it
Wait.
fast. Say it fast.
Russell, William, Harry, May Place.
I thought my phone was more important than what's happening now.
Wow, and I was thinking, oh my god, her phone's more important right now. I really needed to take that step now and pop the question.
So Russ gets up off his seat and gets down on one knee and he says, I always knew you would ask me first, but it's my turn to ask you now.
And that's where I said, Tricia, will you marry me?
And of course I said yes.
After I put on that ring, yeah, Tricia and I were really in heaven that day.
Russell revealed his whole secret and his entire paparazzi crew. I couldn't believe it ran so perfectly.
Coincidentally, there was this couple sitting right behind us that very day. If you can remember that, Tricia. They were the first couple to ever get engaged at the 360 revolving restaurant at the CN Tower. And there they were celebrating their anniversary, and then they started showing us all these photos from 40 years back. It was unbelievable.
You know what would be so cool though? Imagine 40 years from now, we'll be at the exact same spot and seeing another engaged couple doing the exact same thing that we did.
Definitely. That'd be amazing. When I just think of how that day went, it was so perfect. And looking at CN Tower all together, that place I always see as something that really brought us to where we are today.
But I have to admit, you did win the bet. I did ask you first.
No. We both won because now we have each other.
For life.
For life.
I love you.
I love you too, babe.